Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So for today's video, we're going to be making two types of horse treats. And here are all the ingredients. So first we have a carrot and an apple. And then you're going to need 2 tablespoons of oil. I have almond oil here, but you can use any kind of oil. 2.5 cups of oats, and I have oatmeal, but I am going to use that as a substitute of oats. And then I have molasses here, and you're going to need 1 cup of molasses. So for the other recipe, you're going to need 2 cups of flour and about a half a jar of molasses, 1 teaspoon of ground cinnamon, and some icing. Okay, so first you're going to take your vegetable peeler and peel your carrot into small pieces inside of a mixing bowl. Alright, so next you're going to cut your apple into smaller pieces on a plate, and then you can scoop it into the bowl. So after you have your apples and carrots inside of the mixing bowl, you can add your oil, and you will need 2 tablespoons of that. So I'm going to go ahead and dump in 2 tablespoons. Okay, so next I'm going to add the oats, and you're going to need 2.5 cups of oats. So I have this packet of oatmeal right here, and I hope that it is 2.5 cups of oats. I'm thinking that I'm going to need to get another packet, so here are 2 packets. You can use oatmeal as a substitute of oats if you need to. So right there is a half a cup, and that only did 1 packet of oats, so I'm going to have to use about 5 packets of oatmeal for the 2.5 cups. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pour my second packet of oatmeal in. Okay, so now I have 1 full cup of oats, and I'm going to go ahead and dump that in. Okay, so I have my second cup of oats. And now I only need a half a cup left. Okay, so there's my half a cup, and now I have all of my oats in there, so the next step will be molasses. Okay, so next up is the molasses, and you need 1 full cup of molasses. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and mix all of this together. Okay, so after you have the molasses in the pan, you can spread it out and pat it down with your spoon like I did in the time lapse, or you can use your hands if you want. And then you can put it in the oven for 40 minutes, which we are going to do here pretty soon once the oven is preheated. Now I'm going to put the treats in the oven for 40 minutes. Okay, so for the next recipe, I'm going to go ahead and pour my 2 cups of flour and 1 teaspoon of cinnamon into this mixing bowl right here. So I'm using a 1/2 cup because my cup has molasses in it right now. So to get the flour to not stick, I got a 1/2 cup, so I'm going to use 4 of these. Just making sure to use 2 cups total. Now I have my 1 teaspoon of cinnamon and my 2 cups of flour, and I am ready to mix them together and add the 1/2 jar of molasses. So now I'm going to add 1/2 jar of molasses into my mixture. Okay, so this is halfway through the first batch of horse treats, and this is what they should look like. Tune back in for the final result. Okay, back to the second batch of cookies. I am going to do a time lapse of mixing the flour, cinnamon, and molasses together, and then we will spread them out on a cutting board and roll them out to make shapes. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and put some flour on my cutting board because my dough mixture is complete. So once you put your dough on your cutting board, you can go ahead and start rolling it out. Okay, so the first horse treats are done. So we are going to go ahead and pull them out of the oven. Okay, so the first treats are out of the oven. They look very good, and the sides did burn just a little bit, so I would recommend watching them and making sure that your sides don't burn on your horse treats. And then we're going to let them cool, and then we will cut them into little squares. Okay, so I have a star-shaped cookie cutter, and I'm going to go ahead and make some star-shaped cookies out of the second cookie batch. Okay, so I have 7 stars now ready to go into the oven. So this time you're going to want to preheat your oven to 325 degrees and put them in for 12 minutes. And you can do anything with the extra dough. You can re-roll it to make more stars, or you can just do little squares or little balls if you would like. Okay, so I preheated the oven to 325, and I'm going to go ahead and put the second batch of horse treats in. And then you're going to go ahead and set your timer to 12 minutes for these horse treats. Okay, so now the cookies are done, and I'm going to go ahead and take them out of the oven. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and do a time lapse of icing the cookies. Okay, so here's the final result of the icing cookies. This is the second recipe that we did together, and I'm going to let them sit for a couple hours for the icing to harden, and then they should be good. And if you would like to see the horses try these cookies, check out my next video where I will be letting them taste test both cookies. And I will also show you the final result of the first batch of cookies we made. So this is the final result of the first treat that we made. And thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you want to see how the horses like the treats, you can check out my next video. That will be up on my channel pretty soon here. And thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, and comment down below which treat you liked better. Have a good day.